the darkness can come into your dream space to test you. And really what they're doing, so let me just make this clear, okay? So the darkness is opportunistic, right? So if you are, they're gonna push you. If you like if you hold your space, great, they'll leave you alone. But if you don't, they're like, fair game. They're just gonna come further into your space, and it'll happen more, like the dreams will get more intense sexually.
Yes.
Okay, until you're like finally like, no. So it's, in a way it's a teacher, because you're learning to do what it is that you need to do, which is to hold your space against whatever it is that's pushing into you, which you learned. And once that happens, they actually leave you alone. But if you don't, like I said, they come further and further and further in. So it's really important that it's more of I don't know if it's a test, but it's more like a lesson. It's like, how far are you gonna let me come in here until you say no? Okay, so you may have something like that happen. I know that has happened with me. Like I can't even remember exactly what the dream was like, but it was something similar.
Sure.
And I had to do something similar as well. And it's happened at different stages for me. So more at the beginning, for example, I remember one time, this thing came in and it took the form of my father in my dream, who had just passed away maybe like a year ago or a year. So it was showing up as my father. And so of course I saw my dad, and I love my father, and I was very close to him. So my heart started to open because I saw my father in my dream space. And it did something funny where it was weird, like either it's form change. I can't exactly remember the details, but because I told myself that thing, like I'm gonna wake myself up. Like if I anything that comes into my dream space is not pure source, I will wake up. I woke up. So as it was coming closer to me, I woke up, and in that moment, I knew, because in my awake state, I was strong enough, and I was like, and I was so furious because it tricked me. I was like, how dare you take the form of my father? How dare you? And I remember I went back into the dream. I went back in and I this was not very neutral, I have to admit, but I like flung it because I was pissed.
You're pissed, yeah.
I was like, don't, like that is just low.
Yeah.
Okay, and so sometimes for some of you, like for your case, you had the dream 3 times before you were able to stop. If you wake up and you have the wherewithal, you're like,
you can go back in. Yeah.
So you go back in with that knowing, you're like, get out, and you go back into the dream. And then you do whatever you need to do. Now it's your dream space. You can do whatever you want. You could have thigh-high boots, you can have guns, you can like throw things, you can do whatever you want. It's a dream. You're lucid dreaming at this point. But for me, that was an important part of like holding my space in my dream.